Carmelo Anthony missed a game-tying three in the final seconds, and the Knicks fell to LeBron James and the Cavs at MSG last night. Kyrie Irving scored a season-high 37 points, including a clutch layup with 10 seconds to go in the game. LeBron finished with 19 points and 12 assists. Melo, meanwhile, was only 4 for 19 from the field. The Cavs, they've won 5 straight. Meanwhile, the Knicks, they've dropped to 4-16, the worst 20-game start in franchise history. So, Stephen A., I know you were there in New York City last night. So what were your thoughts?
My initial thoughts, obviously, as a native New Yorker, is that Phil Jackson is here, and the Knicks are even worse than they were last year. That's my initial thought. 4-16 is the worst start in franchise history. Considering the years of ineptitude, abysmal play, poorest circumstances under which the Knicks franchise has been attached to, like Velcro, over a decade plus, to say that this is the worst start in franchise history, just when you thought it couldn't get much lower, it is. Last night, Carmelo Anthony, admittedly so, lost the game for the New York Knicks. Amari Stoudemire showed up to play. Tim Hardaway Jr. showed up to play. They had 18 and 21 points, respectively. Some dude named Quincy Acey showed up and played, had 15 points. If Carmelo Anthony is a shell of himself on this particular night, the New York Knicks win this basketball game. And then considering the last play, 7 seconds left on the clock, you take that shot much earlier in the shot clock just in case you miss. You want to have an opportunity to get another crack at it, assuming somebody gets an offensive rebound or whatever. But Carmelo Anthony didn't do that. He took his time, launched one shot. All he had time for was one shot, and that's what did it. So overall, it was an horrific game for Carmelo Anthony. But it's to be understood considering the fact that he's the only thing worth watching on this franchise right now. I spoke to some sources, Skip, before the game. They say that regardless of what anybody thinks, Derek Fisher does know what he's doing. It's just that these guys are having trouble comprehending the triangle. They don't grasp it. They don't quite understand it.
Yep.
Obviously, when you look on the other side of the ball, that's not a problem in Cleveland. They're adapting and they're getting acclimated to David Blatt's system. We were critical of him before. We need to give him some props right now. His offense is predicated on spacing, ball movement, and really transitioning or transferring the ball from one side to the other side of the floor and getting and attacking a defense after it's trying to work through its rotations. That seems to be working for Cleveland right now. LeBron didn't have the greatest game offensively, but to his credit, he recognized that he didn't need to because some dude by the name of Kyrie Irving has reminded us all what a big-time ball player he is. His handle is nasty. His shot is big-time. His ability to get to the basket is unrivaled. This kid is flat-out gifted. And so when I look at it from that perspective, the fact that Jose Calderon to Amon Shumpert to Shane Larkin and anybody else they put on them couldn't guard him, this is why LeBron James elected to leave South Beach and come to Cleveland, because he knew he had a young stud like this he could rely upon that was young and obviously healthy, et cetera, et cetera. Still ain't Dwayne Wade when Dwayne Wade's healthy, but Kyrie's a bad boy. Cleveland's moving in the right direction. The New York Knicks are moving in the wrong direction in the Phil Jackson era. It is a problem.
Okay, before I get to LeBron and Kyrie, I must take some issue with your criticism of Carmelo, who obviously had a miserable night last night. Shot 4 for, what was it, 4 for 19?
Yeah, I'm just talking about last night. Just last night.
No, but the last play. So 7 seconds are left, and you're being guarded by this dude, LeBron James, who's about as good an on-the-ball defender when he locks down as there is in the league. And what do you want him to do, Stephen A? Like just go up and shoot it from 45 feet? He was just trying to create a little bit of space, and he didn't get much.
Well, let me answer that question. Chauncey Billups, your friend and mine,
Yeah.
a champion, been in this league for a long time, now works for the network. He and I were doing the game together. We were standing next to each other behind the Knicks bench on that last play. And the minute Carmelo Anthony grabbed the ball and then slowly started dribbling it, Chauncey started screaming, "Melo, shoot the ball, shoot the ball." Because if you miss, you want an opportunity to get a second shot. All we're saying is that Melo should have launched the shot considerably sooner, so when he missed, somebody else could get a chance to shoot it as well if you got the offensive rebound.
Okay, but he was trying, like he was moving with urgency. It's just hard to create enough space to even get up and get the shot off.
About 3 seconds was not with urgency, Skip.
And to your point, and to Chauncey's point, on the tap out, I forget who got it, but somebody made a three. But like a second late or half a second late. Okay, back to LeBron James. I've said this many times on this show, and I said it 2 weeks ago. When LeBron James decides to be, he is the best passing point guard in the National Basketball Association. He is beyond CP3, to me, as the best initiating point guard. I'm not talking about scoring point guard or some of these, you know, like the Russell Westbrooks or the Derrick Roses. I'm talking about somebody who can make it go from the point. LeBron is sensational at that, and he did it again last night with 12 assists. But to your point, and this is my point about Kyrie before he got drafted, and I only saw him, what was it, like 3 games at Duke? I said, this is unbelievable what this young man is going to be able to do in the NBA because of what you said, the nasty handle and the ability to create in midair. And this guy, this young man, is already the closer for this team. LeBron made a big 3 with just under 4 minutes left. I had both the games on. I was trying to watch both of them at once, Cowboys, Cavaliers. But I like the big shot LeBron made. I gave him a 1-point lead. But when it was time to close the deal, was that not a sweet shot up off the top of the backboard with the left hand by Kyrie?
You're looking at the shot off the backboard. I'm looking at the dribble penetration, what he did to shake himself loose from Iman Shumpert. And I'm so happy for David Blatt. I'm so happy for David Blatt that Kyrie ended up making that shot, because if you recall, the Knicks had missed the shot.
Yeah.
The Cavaliers had the ball.
Kyrie
had the ball at midcourt, you know, in one-on-one coverage. And Blatt called a timeout, and Kyrie is like, what are you doing? Why? For what?
Quick thought. Did he not show up his head coach at that moment? Seriously.
Skip, I didn't take it that way, because I got to tell you, you know, if you're a guy with the skill set of Kyrie, who is rolling the way that he's rolling.
I get it.
You know, most situations you don't call a time, because remember, Skip, they had the lead. See, if you don't have the lead, that's different. But you have the lead. So if you have the lead and you're not being trapped and the ball is in the hands of a dude that's just slaying brothers, just slaying them, you leave him alone. You leave him alone. What you call a timeout for? So I'm really happy that the play worked for David Blatt, because had it not, it would have been a problem.
Did you see what Blatt said? Did you see what Blatt said after the game when he basically said, Kyrie is better at playing than at coaching? Whew. Somewhere right now, Kyrie's ears are burning over that quote.
But then afterwards, Irving said, well, I 100% trust him.